Hello everybody, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the ShadeTree Pro. Now I know I haven't done a video in a while because I'm really busy right now. I got an upcoming clinic on November the 29th at LPGA International. Because of the weather, it was going to be on the 12th, but we had to change it. But it's nice because it's going to be on a Sunday, it's going to be at 2 o'clock, and hope that we have great weather. But this is something different. You know, I told people, you know, I know I talk a lot of stuff, but that's me because I can back up a lot of what I say. Told you I'm a huge fan of Jordan Spieth, and here's my problem. The kid is so good for the game of golf that it's ridiculous. You know, I mean, you could feel that energy when he was playing some of his better golf. Now I've made my arguments, and I said before, you got all these teachers in the world. And I've never understood why someone, and even if they've done it, really reached out to his instructor and say, hey, look, you know I have tried. Say, hey, look, you know, here's what's going on. I mean, to be absolute in the sense of whatever to get this man on track. But the problem is, and if you don't trust in me, then let your eyes show you. One of the biggest problems with Jordan is when he comes through the ball, he's like this. You can feel that coming up through there. And that is, there's no consistency in there. And let me tell you why. In most cases, for your most amateurs, if you're coming up through this, like this, then what you're doing, that's almost creating early extension. And you know, so we do everything to try to fight that. For years and years and years, I studied trying to stop myself from doing, this early extension. Led to shanks, shots all over the place, and it just never was consistent. So then I did something. I had a quote, and I saw Brandel Chambly had put this quote up about Einstein, and I had messaged Brandel on Twitter and said it was this. What Einstein said was the essence of my whole understanding of this golf swing, of challenging the philosophy of whether the golf swing is from the ground up or from the top down. And of course, I have the information to show it's from the top down. And this is the main thing that I see that's in Jordan based on this quote. Einstein said, given a difficult problem to solve, he would, and say he had 60 minutes to solve that problem. He would spend the first 55 minutes asking the questions that needed to be asked, and the last 5 minutes of solving the problem. So when I was struggling with feeling this, then I had to ask myself a question, why? Because I've learned enough as I've studied about the body, is that once you understand it, and it is absolutely to its anatomical right positions or right actions in itself, because I focus on the action, then the results of it is instantaneous. It's not something you got to work on forever. You might have to get that concept of understanding why it is, if that's what you choose, but the action will repeat itself over and over. Jordan, as I said, he comes up there like this. So what I did was I studied to say, let me look at it a different way. If coming from the ground up makes this come out, then coming from the top down should make this go back. And when I did that, then it was done. There was no more studying about early extension, why early extension happened, because it was over. Because if the action in itself of pushing down, as I always say, from the top down, that's my whole philosophy, because I don't even know how they figured out from the ground up, which I actually have an answer to why the golf swing is taught from the ground up, or why the philosophy or theory is to think that it's from the ground up, which I'm just say right now, it's not. Once this action is created from the top down, I don't care who you are, whether you're Jordan Spieth or you're the local amateur at your golf course, if this is coming out, it is simply because you are pushing from the ground and you're pushing out. Because if you push up from the ground, there is no way that you can keep this back. So you're going to have to try to do all kinds of compensations with your arm. So make it simple. And I remember when Tiger Woods first started. Now, when he first started, and he had this set down move, everybody was telling him, saying that was wrong. It was going to mess his back up. And the only reason they were saying that, because there was a mindset that the golf swing came from the ground up, and it just does not. So in essence, just like with Jordan now, if he would take that concept of where Tiger pushed down, then all of a sudden his whole golf swing is going to change. Because why? Because now he has room, in a sense, to swing, for his arm to swing naturally, because this will naturally go back. You never have to think about it anymore. It just happens. If I push down, it goes back. Just like sitting down in a chair, Sam Snead squat, whatever it is. But I don't care how much I practice, how much I study. If I push from the ground up, especially here, this is coming out. That's all there is to it. I don't care if you feel that it's coming around, it's coming out. And if it comes out, then you got to make compensations, whether you're holding it with your arm, turning your arm over, all that. I don't have to do that, because I know that by science, if I push down, this goes back, and I'm right there every single time. And I can sit there and swing it just like I want, because my arms are going to travel exactly where they're anatomically designed to follow. So Jordan, I'm telling you, bro, if you listen to this video and listen to what it is, because look, I'm not no okey doke or whatever that just, just running my mouth to running my mouth. I have done nothing but put hours and hours and hours of research into what it is that I'm doing. Now I've got a guy that's, who's behind me that is known all throughout the industry, in a sense, owner of LPGA International. And I'm telling you what, this gentleman's not wasting his time, in a sense, with me because he thinks it's just a nice thing to do. That gentleman is giving his time to me because he knows I have value in it, and it is what I'm saying. He said his only goal was to find someone who can explain it, so can understand it. And I'm telling you what, he hasn't left me yet, nor have I disappointed him in any way, shape, or form. And it's just he wants more and more and more, and I have to slow him down sometimes because, like I say, the things that I know, it's just not what the golf swing, it's not what's being taught in the golf swing to make it much simpler for you, the amateur. So like I said, once again, I'm not even asking a question that this might fix Jordan Spieth. It'll fix anybody who's coming out, because it's just that simple. If you push up from the ground, this is coming out. If you push from the top, it's going back. Tiger Woods getting stuck from the ground, you're stuck. And then from here, when you push down, you got all the space in the world. Charles Calhoun, a.k.a. the ShadeTree Pro, and always good golfing.